Each candidate will have 2 minutes uninterrupted to answer my first question. The debate commission will then turn on their microphone only when it is their turn to answer, and the commission will turn it off exactly when the 2 minutes have expired.
Folks, I will take care of this.
That's what I'm going to do when I become president.
Do you want to respond to that quickly, Vice President
No.
Biden?
Look, all he does is talk about shutdowns, but forget about him.
Vice President Biden, your
Simply
response.
not true.
But could I just one thing?
President Trump,
I think we have to respond, if I might.
I have
about
to
all of
respond.
this. President Biden, your response, please.
My response is, look,
It did seem like that they were more, held to a time frame, which was nice.
I got more of an understanding of Biden's proposals.
I actually got a lot out of it. I think it was great to hear kind of how both candidates are approaching the election.
How would you lead the country during this next stage of the coronavirus crisis?
It's more than just COVID. It touches the economy, whether our children are allowed to go to school. I mean, there's all these issues that are related to COVID.
It's not my fault that he came here. It's China's fault.
we ought to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. We ought to be able to safely open.
The way the two of them look at it is, in my mind, is so different.
Say we're learning to live with it. We have no choice. We can't lock ourselves up in a basement like Joe does.
He says that we're learning to live with it. People are learning to die with it.
Rumors of a vaccine or, shutting back down again, numbers going back up, death rates going down. It's all something that if you're decently keeping up with it, you already kind of know that. So no, I didn't feel like I learned really anything new.
Was anything about those relationships inappropriate or unethical?
I don't make money from China. You do. I don't make money from Ukraine. You do.
The only guy who made money from China is this guy. He's the only one.
It's one of those things that's kind of a distraction, and I wish the president wouldn't spend that much time on it.
All of the emails, the horrible emails of the kind of money that you were raking in, you and your family.
At the end of the day, I'm not voting for his son, I'm voting for him.
And I think you owe an explanation to the American people.
There's been a lot of examining of these charges, and it's found that it's not a problem. It hasn't happened.
I have not taken a single penny from any country whatsoever, ever.
I really think about what is this person going to do the next 4 years? That for me is the most important factor. So there too, I kind of see that the tax story as a little bit of a distraction.
I paid in advance. It's called prepaying your taxes.
Show us. Just show us. Stop playing around.
For a lot of people that I talk to, these debates aren't necessarily all that impactful because I think they've decided.
I have voted already.
There's something about voting on the day of, on a Tuesday, getting up early in the morning and going and voting in person that I think I'll stick to.
Well, for more on this, we are joined by co-host of Planet America on the ABC, John Barron. Good to see you, John.
Hey, Kath.
Really different tone this time round. Everyone's made note of that. What do you put it down to? Was it the format change, the mute button? Did Trump change his strategy? Was it the compare?
I don't know who that guy with a fake tan on that stage was today, but it wasn't President Trump. I missed the guy from 3 weeks ago in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm amazed that I'm saying that because at the time I found it thoroughly appalling, bordering on the harrowing. We didn't get a sensible sentence out 3 weeks ago. But then, of course, since then, Donald Trump, maybe he's had an epiphany or maybe he just looked at the polls and saw that he went 10 points behind after that first debate. So, yes, you're right. It was a much more restrained, maybe even presidential Donald Trump on that debate stage. The rules helped, the mute button helped. Kristen Wilker, the moderator, did a very, very good job. Funnily enough, the mute button wasn't used very often, but the candidates, knowing that it was there, knowing that they were going to be cut off and maybe they just didn't want the optics of them sort of impotently goldfishing to the camera, they stuck by the rules. And at least for the first half of the debate, it was quite civilised. The gloves came off a little bit later, but nothing compared with what we've seen so far.
I think I realised that was about the 1 hour mark that they got through, that the little bit more toing and froing went on. So you've just given us a brief analysis on President Trump. Joe Biden has been praised for having stronger lines in this one. Is that something that you'd agree with or not?
Well, he got to finish some sentences, which for Joe Biden is no small thing, because Joe Biden's sentences do go for up to 5 minutes with several diversions along the way. And that was part of Trump's strategy, to be serious, was give Joe Biden enough rope. He's still clinging to this faint hope that sooner or later gaffe-prone Joe Biden is going to show his early onset dementia and start quacking like a duck and wandering off the stage looking for some prunes. Well, it didn't happen. Joe Biden was solid. He had some pithy lines. He had some strong moments, but so did Donald Trump. It was a good debate. And importantly, because we had 2 minutes of clear air at the start of each topic from both candidates, we actually got to hear the for and against, some real contrasts on some issues, which thank goodness for voters, or at least the 60% of voters who haven't already voted early, because they can now decide based on issues, do I like what this guy says about immigration or that guy says about immigration? There'll be something for both sides, and it's a much better public service for voters as a result.
And John, just before I open this up to the panel, it did start with the handling of the coronavirus pandemic. President Trump defended his response. Joe Biden accused Trump of not acting responsibly, which, I mean, it's a key election issue, as we know. How are voters likely to respond to that in the opening?
While ever the topic is the coronavirus, Donald Trump is in trouble, which is why he is almost certain at this point to lose the election on the 3rd of November. He's got maybe a 10% chance at this stage based on most poll-based models, simply because he is seen to have flubbed the response, not to have recognised the danger early enough, not to have responded soon enough, and ever since then, he's been criticising Tony Fauci, who has 70% approval. Trump has 30% approval on the coronavirus, and he's attacking Tony Fauci, the top infectious diseases expert in America this week. That 2 weeks after Donald Trump himself got coronavirus, and so did half his family and his staff. It's not his strong suit. He was very keen to move off that subject as quickly as he could, but this election, if it's about the coronavirus, Donald Trump is a one-term president. If he can turn it back onto the economy, maybe he's got a shot, but even on that score where Donald Trump has been above 50% approval for much of the last 2 years, he's slipping below Joe Biden at this point as well. So it is looking very, very difficult. So at this stage, Donald Trump really is looking for, well, he's an old fighter looking for a knockout blow in the 12th round when he's behind on points.